Welcome to the Uncommon Communicator podcast. I am your host, James Gable, and this is where we bring enlightenment to the topic of communication. Are you ready to take ownership of your conversations? Are you looking to possess the skills to navigate and facilitate conversations to a mutual understanding? Then grab your growth mindset and let's go. Welcome to the Uncommon Communicator podcast. It is my pleasure today to have Mr. John Garrett. John is the What's Your And leadership and cultural keynote speaker, who's also an author and a podcast host. John, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks so much, James. I'm excited to be here. Uncommon Communicator. I mean, let's do this. This is great.
Let's do it. Yeah, I don't. Do we tell the audience now we met over lasagna? I don't know. We had a mutual friend that led us to that, which I think he threw my name out in your podcast. I was the Yoda of barbecuing in his podcast. So
yes, absolutely. Yeah, Rick Goodmay, really great guy. So,
Yes,
so absolutely. So fun to hit record on our conversation this time instead of just letting it go off into the ether like before.
Let's do it. So one thing you do, which I absolutely love, is that you start with rapid fire questions so the audience can get to know you better. I took a little bit of a turn on it. So I've got some rapid fire questions for you. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do this. I'm in the hot seat. Let me sit up. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is
All
good.
right. What's your favorite old school comedian?
Favorite old school comedian? I mean, probably, I don't know. Let's go Bob Newhart, maybe. Yeah. And I mean, his stand-up, but also his shows were also fantastic.
That's a great
Newhart,
choice. Yeah.
So I'd say that he's pretty old school, I'd say.
He mastered the phone talking to himself, right? That was one of my
exactly.
Love that. Cake or pie?
Yeah, oh wow, that's a tough one. Yeah, normally if I'm not being picky, it's gonna be cake. Like all cake is good. But if it's pumpkin pie, then that might bounce over all cake. So pumpkin pie, especially I just grew up. My dad was a huge pumpkin pie aficionado. It was the Libby's recipe right on the back of the can. So, but now we've tweaked it some, and my wife has this amazing recipe. So pumpkin pie, I'm gonna have to jump over. But otherwise, cake in general, always good.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a great choice. Great choice.
Yeah,
I love pumpkin pie as well, but it's the conveyor of the whipped cream for me. I can't just eat the whipped cream.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. And it's not weird. It's like, of course you have whipped cream.
Yeah, it was weird eating just the whipped cream plate. Like,
yeah. And you're like, oh, I put pumpkin pie under it. Now I'm normal. Okay. Let's do this. There you go.
All right. What is your least favorite color? Not brown.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go with like a crimson red. Like USC red, specifically. So just my college football fandom. So I would say that. Yeah,
I did. Surprised you didn't pick a Notre Dame color.
Well, you said least favorite, right?
Oh, I did. No, you're.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, no, I'm just making sure.
You're right. No, you're right. And I did that on purpose because. I added that not brown because what's the least favorite color of everyone you've ever?
Oh, it's always brown. It's always brown. Yeah, it's always brown. And I mean, on my podcast, it's always brown. Whenever I ask for least favorite color, it's almost, I'd say 95% say brown or like a baby poop green or like some kind of, where you're just like, oh yeah, that.
You didn't know they were that horrible, huh? That is a horrible color.
It is. And it's a color. And we all saw it in our brains just now.
Yeah, and then I guess you throw in their USC red. That totally makes that's very
you know what that is. So
I do.
Yeah.
All right. Do you prefer jigsaw puzzles or the jigsaw movies?
And I don't know what jigsaw movies are, so I guess what is that?
It's the horror movies. It's a guy jigsaw, and he would put them all, and you had to go through this maze of rooms. Do you like horror movies?
Oh yeah, so no. Jigsaw puzzles. There you go.
Okay.
Jigsaw puzzles. Yeah, done.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
that was.
There you go. I'm not going to scream out loud while I'm doing a jigsaw puzzle. We'll pick that one.
Point. Yep.
Yeah.
In-N-Out or Freddy's?
Ooh, that's a good one. You know, I'm gonna go Freddy's because they have this brownie ice cream dessert
Yes.
thing. I don't know. I really don't know the burgers and the fries at Freddy's, to be honest.
Okay.
So I would go that just because their desserts are a little bit of a step up from just milkshake.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm gonna say Freddy's just because of their dessert menu.
Great choice. You know, I chose cake or pie because I knew you were an ice cream guy. Somehow I knew it was going to
Yeah.
come
Oh
back.
no, absolutely. And yeah, and it's like and they both work with ice cream too. Yeah, no, it's I'm clearly a dessert guy, for sure.
Do you prefer texting or do you prefer picking up the phone?
Yeah, you know, if I have to send a second text, I'm gonna call you. So like if I send a text and then you reply back and then I have to send a second one, then I'm just gonna pick up the phone because this is gonna go back and forth
Okay.
for 20, 30 minutes and it could take 2 minutes. So I'm just gonna pick up the phone and call you and just knock this out. But otherwise, like if it's just a one-off thing or it's a hey, I'm on the way home or whatever, text. But otherwise, if it's going back and forth too much, and by too much, I mean twice, then I'm just gonna call you just to get it done. And that's just my communication style. And maybe it is uncommon these days, but it gets to the point pretty fast. And you don't misinterpret the tone, you don't misinterpret sarcasm, you don't misinterpret an auto correct that wasn't the correct auto the correct type of thing. So yeah, so that's my style.
I love that. Yeah, that's a great choice. Yeah, don't. Yeah. Well, actually, the next question is autocorrect or leave it as is.
Yeah, you know, autocorrect is a little too smart for itself sometimes, and that's
Mhm.
not what I meant. That's not what I meant. And then now I have to back up and do it. I think just leave it, leave it. Like it's close enough. You knew
Mhm.
what I meant, and who cares? You know, like I mean, honestly, like come on, like you know, like you got it. You know, I mean, now if it's a basic word and you misspelled it and it's not close, then I'll be like, oh well, you know, we might not be able to be friends. I'm not sure, but or I want to play Scrabble against you because I'm going to win.
Mm.
But yeah, normally just leave it as it is. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
like we're it's close enough.
Yeah.
You
I'm not
got it.
gonna. That's it. Sometimes I'm
Communication
surprised.
occurred. Yeah.
What's that?
Communication occurred. You know,
Yes.
like I meant to
Mhm.
say this, you understood what I meant to say. Who cares? You
Who
know,
cares?
like I mean, yeah, I got other stuff to worry about.
Yeah, I don't. Sometimes it chooses things I don't think my mind was thinking at the time. They're not nice stuff. But, anyways,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
PowerPoint. Do you use PowerPoint or Canva?
PowerPoint.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even know that Canva could do, uh, I guess, presentations or what have you.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm just pretty old school, but I also don't do a lot of fancy bells and whistles because
Mhm.
like I'm there, so I want you looking at me. Even in my PowerPoint, I'll have blank
Oh yeah.
slides where I
Yep.
just put the logo of the client because I don't want you looking at the screens. I want you looking at me for this part,
Yes.
and really most of it. So yeah, so PowerPoint.
That's a great presentation skill. Yeah, I think I've ran into a few people that run Canva, then send it to me. Like, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah,
So what
right.
is?
Yeah, I
It's
didn't
like
even
looking on
know.
a Mac, right? It's just like the same thing.
Right? Yeah, or what Prezi or all those things, and it looks great, but you know, then it's distracting from me live right here.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
and I want me to be the show, not the slides.
That's
You know, otherwise
exactly
we'll
right.
just watch a video. You know, like you know, like a substitute teacher in high school, just wheel in the cart and let's watch the video. Like there we go.
Let's
Right?
go. Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
let's go. Well, last question. I've always wondered, like, what's your walk-on music? Like, because I know you do a lot of
Blink
presentations.
182, all the small things.
Bam, just
Uh,
like that, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's been since
Okay.
my stand-up comedy days and everything
Okay.
because it's just a great intro and it's all just you know, just guitar for the first 30, 40 seconds and it just hits it hard from the top and everybody knows the song and I'm on stage by then. So yeah, it's great. There's no editing involved. Yeah, all the small things, Blink 182.
So
Yep.
you're making them rich by playing it, are you?
I don't think they get any of that. And
Oh,
they're okay with it. Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Yeah, there's licenses that the venues pay to all the royalties. So yeah, so but none goes specific, I don't think, or I don't know how
Mhm.
they cut that up. But yeah, they're doing all right. They're doing all right.
They're doing okay. Those people are doing all right.
Yeah, those dudes are doing okay. Yeah, especially now that they're back together, which is great. So,
yeah.
So yeah.
Well, so you wrote the book. What's Your And? There's a couple behind you.
Yeah.
Love the book. Love the podcast. And the fact that you put them in like every week. You're putting in the reps on your podcast, but you're spreading that message of we're so much more than what we are at work, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, like, there had to have been a point, like, what was that moment when this kind of moment of enlightenment, when this idea came to you? Tell me about that moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, so the seed of all of it came from when so I was a Big Four CPA with PricewaterhouseCoopers at a school. And then 12 years after leaving my first PwC office, I had already left corporate. I had done stand-up full-time for about 10 years, and then kind of married corporate John with comedy John, because I had some near misses in the entertainment world and just kind of was like done with it. Mm-hmm. And so I was at a conference and I was backstage and I was getting mic'd up, and the meeting professional comes up and says, "Hey, do you know this guy named Mark Bumgarner?" And I'm like, I don't know that name. That's a pretty unique name. You'd think it's a name that you would remember. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, "Oh, well, he knows you. He saw all the speakers and said, I know John Garrett. That's the guy who did Comedy at Night." And so I go out to speak. And of course, in the back of my mind, I'm like, how do you know me, man? Like, this is crazy. I don't know you. And so, I went back and looked on my LinkedIn. We were not connected and professionally. So I was like, I don't know who this dude is. And yet he remembered me 12 years later not as the guy who passed the CPA exam, or not as the guy who was hand selected to be on the largest financial services client that PwC had, which is a pretty big deal. Mm-hmm. Not for, working a gazillion billable hours or whatever, nothing work related. He just remembered a hobby that I did for fun at night. That's the guy who did Comedy at Night. And, and so then I started to ask people like, well, do you have a hobby? And people are like, yeah. And I go, well, does anyone at work know? And most of the times people are like, no, not really, because it has nothing to do with my work, or no one's going to care, or whatever lies we tell ourselves in our head. And so that's really the seed that started it is, we all work way too hard and are way too good at our jobs to be forgettable. Yeah. And the part that people are going to remember 12 years from today is not the work part. Mm-hmm. It's the human behind the job title. And so that's really What's Your And is all about, is you're an engineer and a ballroom dancer. You're an attorney and a volunteer at the dog shelter. Like, what are those things you enjoy doing that light up your soul on a bigger, deeper level? Hobbies, passions, interests. And that's where you can create genuine human connection, which then turns into the greatest retention policy you could possibly have. Mm-hmm. Is just having a genuine interest in the people around you, the humans. Right. Yeah. So that's the seed that started What's Your And? Because, and then it for a while, it was the green apple podcast. Because when I speak, I would show like, a green apple and a bin of red apples, and the green one's the one that stands out. That's the one you're going to remember. And it's still an apple. It's just a different color apple, a slightly different style of apple. But then I changed it to What's Your And after talking to people and years of research and all this. And so that's really how it got to that. So, because you'd rather talk about your outside of work hobby or passion than you would your at work stuff. So, that's why it's What's Your And? Like, I don't want to know your job. I'll get to that. I want to know who you are. Like, who's the human that happens to have that work?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's so much more deeper than that too. If you don't have an and I know there's a lot of people that don't.
Oh yeah,
work and that's it. And without having something else, I think it really does. It affects the psyche at just such a deeper level as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, because there's a whole bunch of yous, basically, and there's a work you. And obviously don't abandon that. That's how you get paid and pay the bills and all that. There's a home you, and don't abandon that. That's for sure. Your family, your kids, your spouse, whatever it is, partner. But there's a you that's just you.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, that you is always last, takes a back seat to work you for sure, because that's all ego, and takes a back seat to family you because, well, if I don't say my kids are my passion, then everyone's going to think I'm a bad parent. And it's like, no, I already think you're a bad parent. You don't need to not answer that. Like it's all good. Yeah, but what's the you that's just you?
Mm-hmm.
The you that has nothing to do with work and has nothing to do with your family, nothing to do with your kids, nothing to do with that. And that's the original you. That you existed before any of that other stuff. That you existed before you had a name. If you want to get really deep, like what lights your soul up? Like, why do you even exist on earth? There's more to it, and it's not at the expense of the other two. It's just that work you is so high and home you is so high. You just have to bring up the you to be equal with those. It's not a teeter-totter where one goes up, one goes down. No, they're all up, except for right now, the third one's probably not. So it needs a hug and just give it a little boost. Let it come out to play once in a while.
Once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be every week or every month, but just, twice a year, whatever it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that. I mean, that's so much truth in that and so much connection that comes with this. And I got one spot from your book I want to read. You quote two of my favorite Nobel Prize winners.
Oh,
now, I don't know any. I don't know very many of them.
Kahneman and his partner. Yeah,
and his partner. Yeah, it's Kahneman and Tversky. So you quote them, but one of the things, they're cognitive psychologists. They found out that people trust their instincts and would prefer to choose an option that is certain rather than risky. And then the big quote is, in other words, people would rather do business with someone they like and trust than someone they don't. And I love that research you put in here. What's some more detail you can add into that whole
trust? Well, what's even crazier about it is that means you can charge more for a service that's inferior, and they know that, and they're cool with it. So having that relationship with clients where I'm a human being that happens to be good at this kind of work, but I'm a human being first, and letting them see that side of you and being just a little bit vulnerable, not oversharing, not drama, not anything illegal or taboo, obviously. These are the hobbies and passions. This is what lights me up.
Yeah.
And maybe it's those that client is in that kind of niche, or that it gives you a skill set that makes you better at your job. So then you're better at this kind of a thing, type of thing. And so letting them see that side of you is great, because maybe they also have a similar or at least they can see you most alive. Because when you're talking about your you're the most alive you've ever been, because it's your soul singing. And so, you can't not be just, eyes are alert and your voice is energetic and everything's awesome. And talking about work, sometimes it's awesome, but sometimes it's not. But talking about your is always awesome. Even if you mountain bike and you wrecked your mountain bike, it's still an awesome story. It's still great. It's type 2 fun, but it's still fun. It's still great. Type of thing. And so just, it definitely works with client relationships for sure. There was one organization that I was working with, and they had a manager. It was a CPA firm that loved to brew beer at home. And he was just frustrated with the kind of clients he was working with. And he's like, I think I'm just going to quit. I'm going to go get a job in industry or whatever. And they said, well, what do you want to do? And he said, well, I'd love to do work for microbreweries, because that's what I love to do. And they said, all right, well, give it a shot. Let's see what happens. And they're the #1 firm for microbreweries in Philadelphia. And good luck trying to steal one of his clients, because he knows all the ins and outs of making beer, because he does it at home, and he gets to hang out with the coolest people he knows, and they happen to be called clients, but they're cool friends of his that do what he loves on a bigger scale. So of course it works that way, but I think that happens a lot naturally, but I don't think it happens so much internally. And that's where a lot of my focus and a lot of my work is on, colleagues and coworkers, and getting to know them, and what projects should you be putting them on. And, instead of a Starbucks gift card as a thank you, here's a gift card to a music store, or a gift card to the pet store, or a gift card to whatever it is that's your so then it shows that I value you as a human being, less as much as I value the person, or the output. And if you value the human, you're going to get the output. No problem. And in this day and age, there's a huge talent shortage. There's not a client shortage there. I don't know what happened, but clients are now, I don't know, they're coming out of the woodworks, and talent is not. And so that's why I'm like, well, if you take care of your people, you'll always have people to do the work. If you take care of your clients, you're not going to have any people that are going to do the work, and then you're not going to be taking care of your clients at all. So that's why I focus internally mostly.
Yeah. And so, I'd love to hear more about like how you support companies in making this into a culture.
Yeah. So I have a short diagnostic. It's like 3 or 4 minutes, but it just pops the hood so then people can see where are we at on talent development, coaching and feedback, clarity and expectations, employee experience, and then retention discipline. And it's less on the actual numbers and more on what are the leading indicators? What are the things the activities that you're doing that then lead to the lagging indicators, which are the numbers. But if you're just winging it, well, then that's not how it works. And if somebody starts during a very busy time of the year and their onboarding is a different experience than somebody that starts in a slow time of the year, that's not okay. Like, it needs to be pretty consistent. So there needs to be infrastructure there. There needs to be something in place that keeps it from being different experiences for different people. Or if you report to this vice president, it's a different experience than another vice president, then it's miserable. That shouldn't be the case. It should be pretty consistent across the board. And so that's really a lot of the work of it is, some of it's a little bit of baking what's your and into recruiting and onboarding and employee experience and even exit. But it's mostly around like almost being a fractional chief culture officer, where it's co-creating with you to create the environment you really want to have. And then let's put in some scaffolding to make sure, just a little bit, not overdone, but just a little bit, to make sure that nothing slips through the cracks. And so that's why it's so crucial. But it does really start with just seeing everyone as human beings that happen to have this job. Because I've found that, like, the more that we try to connect over job titles, then that's when connection is lost. When your identity is job titles and you look at everyone else's identity as job titles, there's no connection there. And so of course people are going to leave because they get $1,000 more. Well, what's the difference? I mean, like, who cares if I work here or there and I'm making more money? That's all. And but if you change the game to where it's a little bit money, but a pretty awesome place to be with leaders that care about you as a human, well, good luck trying to poach that talent.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's I work for Co-Build Construction, and culture is like one of the top things that we talk about as an organization. We work on grit, resiliency. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that are wrapped around culture is the optimum, and how does the rest of the work fit in, which it does as far as trust and all these other things that go along with it. But what I found, at least in construction, they're so unique in their approach to the idea of how they're approaching culture. But what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, so I was going to ask you, because you said you have a lot of clients like coming out of the woodworks. Are you seeing a movement where it truly, like, culture truly is becoming the draw to these organizations, and they see it and they want more of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting though, because it's what they want is people to stay. That's what they want. And I think after COVID, they realized, like, oh wait, like, we didn't actually have a culture. That's why everybody left, because, well, having an office that we all went to isn't a culture. Like, that didn't actually, that's if that's the only glue that keeps you as a team, well, then that's very weak. So that's why when COVID happened, then all of a sudden everyone's like, well, oh, I don't actually care. They don't care about me. I don't care about them. what's the difference? On the, the wallpaper of my laptop is a different company logo than the one I'm at now. Like, so what? Who cares? Whatever. And so really, at the end of the day, that's what they want, is they want talent to stay, and succession planning and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're willing to finally be like, oh, wait, yeah, we don't really have a culture. Or we need to work on that, or we need to, and so the thing that's frustrating though, is like people don't always value like how important that is. When somebody walks out the door, I mean, it's 2 to 3 times salary that just left.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how much it's going to cost to recruit someone new, train them up, get them back up to speed as to the same level of output that the person that left. And all that missing time is, and all that extra work is going to be piled on the other people that are in the department. And so they're going to have to then work more. So you're going to burn them out maybe. And so it's expensive, but people don't realize that because it's been, the cost of doing business. It's just how it's been. And so it is a little bit frustrating where people say they want it, but they don't really deep down want it. Or they'll come to me and they'll say things that are hilarious. Like, oh, we have change fatigue. Our team. And I'm like,
I heard those words. That is, wow.
No, I have change fatigue, James. I do. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about change fatigue, because you don't have change fatigue, because what you have is poor leadership that people don't believe in. Because if I believed in my leadership, I'll walk through coals, I'll walk through fire. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll go through all the change because I believe in this and I'm a part of this and I'm going to be part of the future of this. So yeah, let's do all the change that makes this better. But when you don't paint that picture for people and they feel like they're just a cog in a machine, that you're just using them, well, of course they're going to not believe you, and they're going to be super skeptical, and they're going to not want to do change, because now that's hard for them and there's no reward. And it's not a financial reward. It's a I'm a part of this reward, you know? And so, that's a thing. So if you're listening and you've used change fatigue and you think that's a reason, it's not an excuse. It's you. It's not your people. It's you. So there you go.
Yeah, that's so funny, because when I've heard it before too, I'm thinking, truly, you're saying change fatigue because your way is now in place. So let's not change this way. We don't want to fatigue them.
Or I'm the one that's going to benefit from this, but they aren't. But so I want you to, my ego says we have to do this change, but everyone else is like, well, I don't see why we need to. And I don't believe that we need to. And you just want us to do it because you're going to benefit from it. And we're not. We're just going to end up doing more work. So, of course they don't want to do that. And I wouldn't either.
I mentioned I work for CoBuild. We use the term a lot that we are building the plane while we're flying it. But I mean, culture being the biggest overall arching thing. But there's so much change that happens on sometimes within the week basis, as we're scaling to grow, and we're really growing. Like, I think after 12 years, the culture is really, and the relationships have really come to the point to where we're just starting to really just bloom and blossom. But it goes back to that. We are in this constant change cycle. So in that, it's easy to have people, fluid and familiar with, and being ready to, feel the change in there. So I'm going to keep my ear out for the change fatigue. Make sure I don't.
It's always a leader that's lazy. Always. And everyone listening, always.
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 So some of the time, or what are you trying to say?
I'm saying 100%. And if it hurts a little bit to hear this, then it's you. I'm just telling you, it's you. And so really sit back and think about, how did I paint this picture for everybody? How did I, there was a CPA firm that I was just talking to last week, and the partner's like, we need CPAs to become the next leaders of the firm. They have to actually pass the exam. And so we give these incentives for people to pass the exam, dollars. But they try and then they can't. But we don't have that next wave of leaders because we don't have people that are able to pass the exam. And so I said, well, have you taken the 3 or 4 people that you see as the leaders of the firm to lunch and just told them, hey, I see you as one of the next leaders of this firm. Do you want in on that? And if they do, then you say, well, then you're going to have to pass the exam. And how can I help you do that? Because right now, offering them $3,000 to pass the CPA exam is a very, very different painting than I'm handing you the keys to the firm. I want you to be the leader of the firm in the future. And, for that not to be the case, that you didn't even tell them that, is crazy. And the guy's like, oh, that's really good. And I'm like, wow, what? Like, I mean, like, there's no incentive to pass the exam. But now if you're, hey, I see you as the next managing partner here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now I have a reason. And also you're going to help me figure this out and make space in my work and all this to be able to pass. Okay. Then that's a very different narrative. So really think about that if you're a leader.
One thing you said too, I think is really, really important, is having your path communicated, because I've seen people leave. I've been in the organization where they're like, I'm out, like I'm quitting, but like, hey, you were going to be the next whatever, right? I can name a couple of different people where not once did anyone ever tell them that they had it, that we saw it in them, and they didn't feel it, and they thought that work was slowing down. And I don't think we communicate enough the career path for people. And I believe that it's driven out of fear, because we're afraid to tell them, right? Maybe ego will kick in, or maybe it's not going to work out. And it's just all the wrong reasons to not develop somebody into that role.
Yeah. And it's also just lazy, because in a little bit of arrogance of like, well, how would they not want to be?
Yes.
Of course they want to be me. They want to be me when they grow up. And it's like, well, maybe not. I mean, so at least annually it's asking people, hey, what's your dream job? Yeah. Like, what do you want to do here? Like, and it doesn't have to be here. It could be somewhere else. And buckle up, because if odds are the answer is not going to be you. Like, it's going to be something else. But it's like, okay, cool. So let me help you get the skills to be able to then go and interview for that job, or let me introduce you to some people that have that job. So then you can be more educated and more aware of that. But it's just, I mean, it's open. And that way, then they're going to accidentally stay longer, because you're helping them develop into the person that they want to be. And you also should want them to be the best version of them. And if that's with you, great. And if it's not with you, also great. Because who wants a bunch of miserable people around? Like, but there's so many leaders that are like, well, I'd rather have 100 people that are all miserable than, 40 people that are living their best life. And it's like, well, that's, like, it's just, because if you have a bunch of people that are living their best life and then they go on to another position, they're going to tell their friends, like, I know I'm not there anymore, but you got to go there, man. This place is awesome.
Yeah.
And then at some point down their career, who knows, they boomerang back, and they come back to the organization.
Yeah. So, I think it was Richard Branson that said, I'll train them so they can go and work anywhere. I'll treat them so they'll want to stay. Something
there
like
you go. Yeah. It seems like a Richard Branson kind of a thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Sir Richard Branson. Important.
Right. In case he's listening.
He might be. I got some in the UK, so he's probably, I don't even know.
There you go. Yeah. Some island somewhere, probably. Yeah.
Somewhere in a beach. I picture a beach somewhere.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But that's, those are all part of retention tactics as well too, is really knowing, who you're developing, how you develop them, and being able to, give them like a place for them to succeed, that they could succeed anywhere. And I think you mentioned ego in there as well too. I think what I've seen too, like limiting factors in hiring, is some people don't want to hire somebody smarter than themselves, and or promote, or get them to the point. And I feel like I've been in this spot a couple of times where I felt like I was really held back because I was good at that role. So instead of letting me be at the next level, people want to keep people at that role. And I think that comes back to being more of that human connectedness. Like if there was more of a connection to what, was important, if that individual wasn't cared about what I cared about, there would be a different conversation.
That's exactly it. And as a leader, I mean, the greatest compliment you can have is to have all of the people that were below you now equal or above, because you were a part of that path for them and you showed them what good leadership is. And then the whole organization is better. And that definitely matters. And just caring about, just having a genuine interest in the people around you. I love to have like clients that I work with, like leaders ask all of their people at least once a year, what do you love to do at work and how can I help you do more of that? And then what do you love to do outside of work and how do I help you do more of that? If you love to go to concerts and you haven't been to a concert in 3, 4, 5 years, well, that's not good. You're not the best you that you can be at work. So let's get the calendar out and let's find out what concerts you want to go to and let's put it on the calendar and let's make sure you go. Type of a thing. And if it becomes a work issue or whatever, we'll figure it out. Like we'll map it out. We'll delegate the tasks to give you the space to go do things that light you up. Clearly, it's not every day or every week, and you're still going to get your work done, but I care about you as a human being, and that matters so much.
Yeah. Now you talk about connection a lot, and this is something. I'm going to tie it back a little bit to comedy. I'm a huge comedy fan. I do listen to, I don't know, probably can I name them? I listen to Kill Tony, where people come in and they give that 1 minute, right? That these upcoming comics coming there. I just love comedy, but one thing is because I fancy myself. I think I'm funny. Funny has nothing to do with comedy. I found out, like it's all about writing, right? You got to be able to write. You got to write funny, but it's about writing and connection. So I know that connecting with the audience is really important. I've heard some feedback of some of the comedians that could really do that, but I feel like that's kind of what you bring to what you present and how you coach and how you keynote. You bring connections amongst coworkers, but is there some tricks that you have in bringing connection and kind of maybe speeding up connection?
Yeah. I mean, man, a lot of it was honed from doing stand-up. I've been on stage 2,400 times plus now. And when you're in front of an audience of strangers, they don't care about me. Get to it. Get to the laugh, get to the funny. Like when you're with your friends, you can go off on a tangent or you can do some random story or whatever and then get back to it. Or audiences do not go for that. The strangers are like, look, we paid money and we need to get some laughs in here. And that's why we're here. And so, so I mean, I would just say that like when it comes to communicating, it's really just getting to the point. And even say it up front and then tell the story after if you need to. But get to the point. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what's going on? Like, why are you talking to me? Like, what's the story here? Like, what is happening? But also it's also checking in with the people and reading their faces, reading their body language, reading, are they going along with this? Are they rubbed the wrong way by this? Are they, whatever, is it the reaction that you were going for or not? And then just checking in, like, is this tracking? Does this make sense? Is this follow? Is this, and then you at least know that, okay, they're along the ride with me. And also too, despite my answer being crazy long here, no one likes monologues. Like, have it be a back and forth, ask a question back, but as a guest of a podcast, that's not how this is built.
Yes.
But, in a normal conversation, I'd be like, what about you? Like, what's and then it's a back and forth, it's a dance.
Yeah.
So definitely, those are a couple of things that just come to the surface for me right away. So I don't know, but what about you, James?
I love it.
You shut your mouth, John.
I've had somebody ask me a question and I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
For me too, those are all great answers. And I was curious too, if your time in stand-up comedy, that's a lot of times on stage, it's putting reps in. I'm sure you can develop that skill. Cause as you were saying that, I was thinking that I've sat next to people, felt no connection. I've sat in a room of 1,000 people and felt so connected with that person that was speaking.
Yeah.
And there's just an incredible power from public speaking where, I know when I do a lot of speaking, you make connections with certain individuals within the audience. It depends on the size of the group. Sometimes I'll hit eye contact with everyone. Or if there's something powerful about making eye contact in an audience where you're affecting like 10 people around it. I mean, it's somewhere in I guess I can use the quantum physics world where something's going on with that connection. So to me, there's something more than just, it's something truly genuine, I think. And everything that you said is making sure that you're present, making sure that you're in it while you're there. I think all of those things really help bring connection. And I think what you're talking about and what's your like when you're having communication or a conversation with somebody at work about what they're passionate about, those are making some kind of electrical connections with them. There was we do a lot of Patrick Lencioni type of things with the work widget. We talk about it all the time. Like, what are you working in your genius? Like, those are questions we ask every single week. And we also gauge how is your connectedness with your we ask this in a survey every week at our all hands, how are you connecting with your coworkers? So we're looking at that. How is that changing? How's that gauging? And a lot of that is tied to those conversations that are outside of just the work conversation. So there's just so much value in that. We had one person who, so anyways, she would run them through kind of we also do the Clifton strengths as well too. And in the past, and she's our HR person, in the past she hasn't got to she didn't do all of them for a while. And she had a chance to do one with somebody, one of our, new hires. And she found that just going through them and having that conversation about that, because that stuff's very and personal in a way, right? So whenever even though they had really nothing in common, probably will never work together in two completely different departments. When they walk into the break room at the all hands, they can kind of give a nod. There was a connection that was made that is in some ways, hard to sever. So it's just so cool on that connected side and the stuff that I think you can with having these conversations. So that's what you get for asking me a question.
The connection is over them being human beings. It's not over their work, like two people that, can operate an excavator don't have as strong of a connection as the HR person with the, construction person. That's a stronger connection than it is two people that have the same job. I mean, because it's on a human level, it's deeper. And there was actually a study done at Johns Hopkins University, probably about 2 years ago now, where they found that it only takes 40 seconds of genuine human interaction. Really? 40 seconds. Wow. And it's a greater sense of belonging, less anxiety. And that's what we all want, is just to feel like we belong and feel valued for who we are as a human being, not just the work that we do. Wow. And so 40 seconds. And if you don't have that kind of time, then maybe being a leader is not for you. You're the kind of person that microwaves your Pop-Tart because you don't have time to put it in a toaster. Really? That's crazy. Come on, we got time. Type of thing.
There was somebody who was microwaving their quesadillas. This is recently. And I don't think we can ever let them get over that shame. Microwave it. Like you couldn't heat a pan like that. All that is that's a gooey tortilla and cheese. It's like microwaving a Pop-Tart.
It's like 3 minutes on a stovetop, counting heating up the pan.
It's like a minute and a half in the mic. It's 30 seconons in the micro. Yeah.
I don't have that kind of time. Maybe life isn't for you. Wow, how do you do this every day?
Right. Why even eat? Stop eating because you're
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. But it matters. It matters so much. But our priorities are upside down, and we're so busy doing that we forget to just be. Just be. Right. And then if you're being, then and really what's your end is it's not a work-life balance thing. It's deeper and bigger than that. It's making you whole. It's making you a whole human. We get it's almost like a Trivial Pursuit pie where you have one wedge for work and you got 5 other empty wedges. They're empty. Right. And fill them up, and don't fill them up. It's not more work that fills those up. It's other things that fills those up. Yeah. And so, that you're not a whole human. And that third you really needs a hug. So just make some time for that.
We use the term rhythms of work and rest as opposed to the idea of work-life balance.
Yeah,
Being
yeah,
that, it's not about work-life balance isn't I'm going to have more time away from work. It's like, what are you doing during your day? Like we have a gym,
yeah,
at a facility. Go work out. Do you need to go take a walk? Do you got to pick your kids up? Those type of things are all part of that work together. And it's
yeah,
easy to do in a salary situation, but that rhythms of work and rest are something that's a
yeah.
mindset that is not spoken about, I think, in corporate America as much as it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. And also too, there are places where they're like, oh, well, we have unlimited PTO. And I'm like, okay, well, that's great because just accounting wise, you don't want to have that on your balance sheet and have to
Mhm,
owe people money when they leave. That's really all that
mhm.
is.
What? It's
But
money? Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah, right. But if you have unlimited PTO, do you have a minimum? So
Mm,
that's great that you have
mm,
unlimited PTO, but you make sure that people are taking it. So,
right.
you have to take 2 5 days sections a year. So you need to use your PTO, even though it's unlimited,
Yeah,
you have to use it. And so
yeah.
if you're going to have unlimited PTO, make sure people are using it. Set the tone yourself
Mhm.
and then make sure that people are doing that and they have to. And so it's those kind of things where it's, help people help themselves because they're not going to on their own.
No, and that's, it's I hope I think this generation gets it a little bit different, because I think they're taking that time to some degree. I hope so, because
Yeah.
I know my
Yeah.
generation looks back. I mean, I can list you a half a dozen people who are proud of the fact that they get like they're getting 6 weeks a year PTO, and they're at every year or every month they're losing
Right.
accruing
'Cause
because that's
it's
all you
maxed
can
out. Yeah.
accrue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're proud of that fact that they're doing that, and that's unfortunate for them, but it's unfortunate for their families as well. And it's a
Yeah.
mindset that I hope is really beginning to change. I hope so.
Yeah. Well, and it's unfortunate for their organization because they're not getting the best version of that person at
Hmm.
work. If it's
Right.
all work all the time, anxiety's high, depression can be very high. Like if you
Hmm.
get dealt a blow and that's your whole identity, well, then it's not good. So yeah, absolutely, it matters.
Yeah, it sure does. So as we kind of wrap things up, I got a couple of questions I'm going to end with. How do the listeners get a hold of Mr. John Garrett?
Yeah, I mean, the easiest way is www.whatsyourand.com. The podcast is there, the book is there. It's on Audible as well, if in case you really love this voice. So there's that. And it's won some awards, which has been pretty awesome. And Coach Lou Holtz wrote the forward as a Notre
Yes.
Dame alum
Mhm.
myself.
Yep.
It was a huge honor for him to say he would. And yeah, so through there is, the keynote and the coaching and the fractional chief culture officer work as well. So yeah,
Mhm.
whatsyourand.com. Easy.
LinkedIn, big on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, LinkedIn, absolutely. Posting a lot on there. And so Instagram starting to do a little bit more. I've been a best kept secret for a little while. And so really I have some people on my team now that are helping drag me out into the light and let people know more about how important this is. And what's great is the more that I get out there, the more positive feedback I get and the more like overwhelmingly positive reactions. It's pretty awesome. And then
Yeah.
on occasion there's somebody that feels triggered, and that means that I did my work.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't care then you wouldn't care, but you cared enough to where this tripped something. Something tripped on you and I'm right, but your ego won't let you admit it. So then it's a fun little conversation just to see what they're feeling and what's going on with them.
Yeah, and I hope the tide is turning. So I think everything that you're bringing, I hope we're seeing
Oh
that in
yeah.
a positive direction. So that's
Yeah, it
great
was
to hear.
always there. We just had to remove the layer of playing professional, like an actor in a show. So once we
Yeah,
pull
sure.
that layer back, it's there. It's
Mhm.
it's been there for
Right.
hundreds of years. It's just this facade, this suit of
Mhm.
armor that we all put on to protect our like little soft insides. And then
Right.
you pull that back, and then you realize, oh, I don't have to protect this. Like we're
Right.
good. Yeah.
Exactly. So, first question: what does the world get wrong about John Garrett?
Oh, that they think I'm super extroverted, and I'm not at all. I'm super introverted. That they think I'm funny all the time. No, I'm not. That that oh, he's just a comedian. Like it's just when he comes in and speaks, it's just gonna be funny. My favorite is on the feedback forum where someone will say like, "Oh, I thought I would laugh more at a keynote." Like, it's like, you just laughed harder at a keynote than you ever have ever, I promise. And yet you thought you would laugh more. Like, I don't come to your job and be like, I thought you would be smarter. Like, it's like, but yeah. So, I mean, that it's okay to be multidimensional. Like, you can be deep and funny and silly and smart. And, like, you can be all the things. It's okay. It's okay to be good at a couple of things. So, but those for sure are things that get me. And I'm also almost 6'3". So like, oh, I thought you're a lot taller than I thought. And I'm like, I'm not freak tall. Like, calm down. Like, I'm point guard tall.
Calm down.
Like I'm Steph Curry tall. Like, I'm not even that tall. But like, when people are, oh wow, you're really tall. And it's like, I don't even know what to say right now. Like, based on what? Like,
the picture of your head.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, how did you, what? Like, I don't even know what to say right now. So there's that too. That's
a good one. Yep.
Yeah.
So final question. We've been talking for almost about 45, 50 minutes. As well as I do, when people leave, we want to leave them with one thing, like out of kind of taking our conversation down to what could we narrow it down to? One thing that our audience should leave with today's conversation.
Yeah. I think just know that who you are is more than what you do. Like, you're a human being that happens to do that kind of work. That who you are has nothing to do with your work and has nothing to do with your family. You existed way before all of that. And if I started college and going for engineering. Had I not gotten a D in physics, I would have had a very different career trajectory than I did. But I'm still me, so don't let the outside influences impact you. Like, be you and then impact the world.
Yeah, I love that. Well, this has been a great time. So much fun. That's all we got for everybody. We'll see you next time. See you. Bye. Congratulations. You made it all the way to the end. You're officially a 1%er. Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Uncommon Communicator with me, your host, James Gable. Make sure you like and share this episode. This helps spread the message of communication to the world. Check out our website, The Uncommon Communicator, for more, and connect with me on LinkedIn to keep building those communication skills. See you next time.